What's up, people? We're back for episode number 13 of Mentality Focus podcast. We're happy to have you. We're happy to have Alan back. So today, I thought it would be a good one since we spoke about fashion. We spoke about money related topics like 2 episodes ago to speak a little bit more about how you should program yourself. Like how do you program your mind and how do you keep how do you keep a a way of self-talk that is conducive to you developing yourself and moving forward in your life. Because self-talk is extremely important for anybody that wants to level up. If you're not going to have the right self-talk or mindset, you're not going to get anywhere. So yeah, I wanted to touch on this, Alan. What do you think is the most important when it comes to self-talk, and how are you programming your mind to think in a way that's conducive to your own self-development?
That's a tough topic. As I was mentioning in the beginning, like the most difficult shit is to work in yourself. However, I think that it's important to touch two things in here. The first one is the content that we consume, because if you are consuming all the time, like all these fairy tales that Disney is selling to you, all these wrong ideas that the anime is selling to you. Um, like you're going to have a bad time, like trying to drag your mind back to the reality, to what it is, because you are all the time like consuming this kind of content, and you start to believe that actually like love relations and human interaction is like that. Again, like this is real life, this is not a fucking fairy tale. Sorry to pop your bubble, but it is like that. And the second one is that you need to learn how to apply brakes, because everybody has their own trauma and everybody has like their own inner demons. And at some point, like something small happens, a small failure, like it could be that, for example, like you're meeting somebody and you greet them like not in a really social smart way, you're confident. And in that moment, like your mind is not work and it's not strong enough, you will start to think like, oh my gosh, like I fuck it up with this like saying hi, with my presentation, with my introduction now, like this person is going to be, or I pretend that person to be important in my life because he's going to be a colleague, he's going to be a friend, he's going to be like a girl that I'm interested. And in that moment, like this small one, it starts to be like a snowball. Like you start to overthink about it. If you do not apply like a break into that moment, you're going to have a really bad time, because that starts from the beginning of the interaction, is going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing into the it's going to keep growing bigger, while the interaction is also like moving forward. So you will be more focused into thinking like what to do to be like assertive and correct, than like to really be in yourself and show that you are like working out in your personality and in your charisma. So I will say that will be like the important points that I see.
Yeah. Yeah, also what is very important for everybody to realize that like left or right, like everybody's brainwashed. Like to some degree, you're always talking to yourself. You're always programming your mind in a particular way. Like the average human brain has like thousands of thoughts like every hour, if not more than that. You know, who programs it? Is it you? Is it you? Is it your teacher? Is it the media? Like what is it? Do you have mentors? Like you need to think about this. You need to think about this consciously. And um, what you see with many people is that if, for example, if you have a victim mindset, like, oh well, I'm a victim of my circumstances. It's my boss who didn't give me a promotion, or it's my competitor that took me out of business because of his particular like he's not playing fair, like, or whatever reason. Like, I lost this competition, and all of it is unfair. Well, you programmed your mind to be this way, so you can you can cry about what happened, or you can think like, okay, like, wait, like, I'm in charge here, like the power is on me, like the power is on me to change. And whatever happens in whatever circumstances I find myself in my life, they are 100% my responsibility. Even if I caused it or not, that doesn't matter. It's I program my mind in such a way, even if there was somebody else that screwed with me. Well, I'm still responsible for ending up in that situation and letting it happen. So it's very powerful, because in that moment you look yourself in the mirror and you say, I can do better, but because of this. And you should program your mind to think this way, because the moment you start to apply it, you you start to everything in your life becomes in your control. Like, everything in your life becomes, okay, how am I going to do it? Not if, not 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 if, not why. You don't ask yourself difficult questions. It's just like, okay, I need to get from A to B. There's no obstacles to achieving anything. Because all of it is within my control. So what do you think about that?
I have to say that I'm totally agree with you. And there's two things also that you mentioned, and I think that they're like really, really important. Uh, when you speak to somebody who is like struggling and trying to develop themselves, um, the first topic that is coming to their mind is like, yeah, I have problems. I am like this because of my parents. Um, so like, since we are babies and this programming starts and so on, well, let's face it, because it's true. Most of the traumas and insecurities that we are going to get, they are coming from our parents. They are coming from what they are teaching to us, and most importantly, they are coming from what they are not teaching to us. Because if we have a father figure that is not strong enough, and we have a mother figure that maybe is not that present when it's needed, uh, you're going to struggle. Like, anyway, like, if one of the sides, whatever is fault, is not doing their part, like, at the end you're going to struggle. But the situation is that you need to understand that your parents are the sum of all the past traumas from your grandparents and your grandparents and your grandparents and great, whatever you want to call it, parents. Um, this is a chain that is going and going and going and going. So at some point, like, when we were born into this world, and we were like the baby, like, sadly, we were destined to inherit those traumas, because I don't think that our parents take like really serious the topic about developing a mental strength, or any of these situations. They were just focusing into, well, like, I need to go to work, I need to find a proper woman to marry, or whatever. Like, I just need to marry and to have kids, because this is what society is asking to everybody, and that's it. Like, I'm going to do it. How good I'm going to do it or not, well, like, that's another situation. So, even if you have like all these traumas and so on, as you mentioned, it's not an excuse to drop yourself into the floor and start to cry and do nothing and say, oh my gosh, like, life is unfair, like, why is this happening to me, and so on. Like, you need to make the best of it. And the best of it is that, you will go through all these traumas, and you will grow up and you will learn lessons that anybody else who has not those traumas will learn them. So when you face adversity while you're growing up, well, like it's going to be easier for you to go through all these struggles in life than for the rest of the people that they had not to struggle at all. And that's related, the first one, and that's related with the parents. Um,
I wanted to
the
mention,
second,
yeah, you just go on.
tell
Second
me.
one. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
let
yeah.
me touch on the first point first.
Mhm,
Yeah, look,
mhm.
of course, that a lot of problems that we have in our that we have in our lives, they come from our parents, or they come from our upbringing, but think about it, like your parents, they had no internet, your parent, and especially your great grandparents, they didn't, they didn't know anything, like life was simple back in the day, so like you were just like if you were living in a town, like you were going to marry the girl next door, and you're going to work on a farm, and that was basically it. Up until like what is it like up until like the Second World War. Like after that started to become you started to have like mass society. But yeah, like all of these problems, of course, that they originate like from they go through generations, but still like nowadays we live in the internet, and if you want to change, like it's never been easier to do it. Like back in the day, you had to go to a freaking library if there was if they even
If
had it
there
in your
was,
town. Yeah, if
yes.
there was, because most towns, they didn't even have a fucking library. So nowadays, if you want to fix it, you can you can put in a lot of work, and you can fix your mentality, you can fix your fashion, you can fix your work, you can fix your business, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, and achieve it. But still nowadays there's still people like, oh well, like I grew up this way, so I'm not going to change. Like it's never been easier to do it. Like all of the tools there are out there. If you want to do it, just put in. If you want to do it, just put in the work. You should be very, like, everybody should be very thankful that nowadays we have the internet. You can talk with very wise people, like that can help you in any that can help you fix your personality, fix your mentality, and move forwards, and move forward from there. you know I am grateful, like every once in a while I follow these conversations, or like these particular podcasts. I'm thinking like, wow, like the fact that I can see this, and that you can see this for almost for free is just fucking nuts. What a time to be alive. And for that, of course, like all of this modernity, of course, that it also has its downsides, but if I gotta choose, like living now or living in 1809, like I would choose to live now because I have all the information. I am the way I am because I had access to information that none of my grandparents they had, and that makes that makes the difference. Like I can develop my personality in a particular way that they would never been able to, even if they were living in a metropolitan area, and they had access to a library, which most people they didn't even. So you know, yeah, like ultimately, like the bottom line to this podcast is to give people the tools to put in the work, and because I use the tools myself, like we present the tools that were useful for us in our self development, and we encourage others to do the same, and but yeah, that starts with that starts with taking responsibility, and it's
Yes,
like I said,
yes,
it's never
people.
been easier. It's never been easier, man.
Yes,
If you want to achieve
yes.
something, it's never been easier to do it. But especially fix your mentality and fix your like if you have traumas, get over it. But don't blame your parents. Your parents, they didn't even have those. They didn't have access to the information that we did. Like it doesn't like you cannot blame them for something that somebody on the internet told them, like, yeah, like this way, like to deal with other people is really fucked up. Like this way to do your business is really fucked up. Yeah, of course that they didn't know because they didn't have information like we do. So
Yeah. I have to say to the people that the audience, like, yeah, motherfuckers, like, well, helping you to weaponize the internet and to weaponize yourself. So, like, all the material that we are like dropping in here should not be taken like that slightly. Like we're giving you like really useful tools that when you see it, that you apply them into your world, they are going to start to transform your reality. And yeah, of course, what you mentioned about the traumas of the parents, like you need to go over it. Uh, Even if you come from a family that is like so fucked up, when you start to develop your inner strength, to change your mentality, and you start to heal, then in that moment, your family is also to start to heal by themselves, because they're going to look at you and say like oh my god, like what the fuck happened to you? Like you were nothing like this. Like you used to come and I used to tell you like something, and in that moment you were triggered, and to I wanted to trigger you, and then in that moment, like like I was in the mood for a fight, so I need you to be triggered, and we start to fight, a discussion, and so on, because I have frustration from this, from that, and stuff. That's the situation. With whoever like you find besides your parents, they will start to see like this change of personality, and they're going to say, well, like he's going through something, he's doing like something to his life. I wonder what he's like doing and stuff. Again, like we're helping you to weaponize yourself and to weaponize the internet. Now you can go to the fucking internet and you can learn whatever you want. That's the situation. Yeah, back in the day it was not possible, but it's also like a double-edged sword, because of course you can weaponize the internet, but you can just use it to waste your time. So that was the other point. Okay, like you are in the internet, and how do you use it? If you are using it all the time to watch these videos of cats and like wasting your time, and well, like my advice to you will be, like break your mobile phone and cut your internet subscription and go to live into the middle of the farm, because even then you are going to have a happier life than if you keep just wasting this one like in this way. And one thing that I find that is like really important is that we are in any social media, whatever, and we have all these influencers, and the situation is that like you need to check who is going to be your influencer, because it's okay if you consume some entertainment, but you need to have a limit. And also, even if it's entertainment, okay, like what kind of entertainment is it? Like nowadays, it's really easy to make yourself viral with any stupid shit. And like I'm asking to the people out there, it's like, really, do you want to be like one of the sheeps that is following this motherfucker that is doing all the time like stupid shit? Or even worse, do you want to go viral for being a guy who is all the time like doing stupid shit? Okay, you are going viral, but what is going to be the cost of it? What is going to be the expenses? These people, of course, that they get money and they get famous and so on. But at the end of the day, somebody when they met somebody that is not their following or their fan, they are saying, "Oh yeah, you're doing this and that. Okay, cool. Yeah, and what like?" And they're like, "Yeah, and I have so much money and blah blah blah." And it's like, "Yeah, well, okay, maybe you are like influencer and like you are doing your videos and stuff, but like you do not deserve my respect. Like I don't respect you at all, because what you are doing is entertainment, but at the end of the day,
Yeah, it
it
adds
has
no value to me. Yeah, it doesn't
yeah,
add value to my
exactly.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It has nothing of value to the life of people. It has no value to society. Let's face it, it has no value even for them. So these people, they just come and go like this. That's that's the situation. And the point is that check who you are following uh, on
Ask yourself
Instagram, on any social
yeah.
media. Yes, you need to ask. Like for me, it's like quite frustrating, because like everybody was attacking Tate when he came to the internet. He took the fucking internet by assault, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, this guy, he's racist, sexist, xenophobe. In that moment, immediately I feel identified. I was like, okay, like this motherfucker is just like I am. And everybody started to go, yeah, like he's misogynistic and he hates the girls and he hates this and that. Well, I don't see the problem in being honest and speak how the society is driving itself. For me, it's quite curious that everybody's like say, yeah, like this guy is a danger for the young generations and blah blah blah. But nobody's saying the same about Kim Kardashian and all the other influencers that they go viral and they're famous because they do nothing. They have no talent at all, but they pose in front of a camera, like showing so much skin, showing so much ass, or showing the whatever they want to show, and then everybody's just like liking, and sending messages and so on. Again, like if Tate is a danger to the young generation of males, why is not Kim Kardashian or any of these influencers as danger? Because like it is really a danger. It's a misconception that the women are having with them about their attitudes, about their bodies, about like the couple, like
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, I totally agree. It's very unhealthy for women to have to basically like to have all of this. To have these people on Instagram like paint a particular like paint an ideal for what a woman should look like. That is just
yes,
that is just out of this world. Yeah, of course. Like if you have a couple million on the if you have thousands, like tens of thousands of like euros stashed under your like under your body, you can pay you can use that to pump up your to pump up your ass and to pump up your tits. What's basically that all of these influencers are doing. Yeah, like they
yeah, but again, it's a total danger for all the people that is like looking at us. And if you are a girl, like really like go away from that, because that is a total brainwash. Uh-huh. Maybe you go to the social media and you start to promote yourself like this and that. But let's face it, you are one pretty girl like showing skin and stuff. Like how many girls that are pretty and showing skin and stuff, how many of them do you like to be on social media? A couple of millions?
Yeah, like there are very few. I get it. Yeah, but let's we're diverting. Like it's a very good topic. We have a very good discussion, but we start
Yeah,
to divert.
maybe we are diverting a little bit, but at the end of the day, it goes into the topic
Yeah, yeah.
because
Yeah, because it's program. Yeah, like it's
is
programming.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. Is your mind that is like consuming, and then in that moment, like is being programmed in a way that is not going to be healthy for you. So yeah, all these situations, like really people like try to avoid them. But about Andrew Tate, let's face it, all of the guys that we were not born in a family that has already a position of power, the money, or some social hierarchy, like we should aspire actually to be like him. That's it. Like I don't see like another way to go like higher into the social hierarchy. You know, everything that he's like saying, like I did it myself before I knew what he was doing, and I started to see the results. That moment, I was just thinking like, yeah, like if I had somebody who give me like these fucking advices that I'm giving to the people like right now, like I will save myself like so much time, 10, 15 years.
Yeah, indeed, and that's also that's something that I wanted to mention. You know, if I could go back in time, what I would have done, differently, and the mistake that I see other people make as well is that they don't realize that they don't know so much. Even I don't know so much, but I know the right people to listen to, and that's always essential
Mhm.
to that you're listening to the right people that can give you the advice that you need, uh, and especially like practical ones that you can that you need to apply, and to for in order to self develop and level up, and that is essential. So if I could go back in time, I would slap myself in the face and tell them like, yeah, to that person you should listen. Like I could have been far ahead if I had listened to the right people. So yeah, like for example, for you, it's like when we lived together, it was exactly like that. I would tell him, I would tell myself like, yeah, like whatever you're like, you should listen to him more because he has a lot of wise things to say. Like ask, of course, I'm naturally like a curious person, and I'm always asking you questions, because that's how I get wiser as well. But I would ask myself, ask even more, ask more. You want to get more value out of the people around you that are smarter than you. So ask questions and learn. Ask questions and learn. That is essential. That's essential. That's what I would do if I could go back in time. Yeah, and another thing, like we touched on this like earlier, but yeah, like the fact,
Mhm.
even if your family is screwed up, like of course I understand that a lot of people nowadays, like they're so broken, but there's never been you could get your mentors, you could get your mentorship from people online. And that might sound silly, like, oh my god, like, oh my freaking god, like somebody far away is going to be like my is going to be my dad or my mom, but hey, like it is, to some degree it is like that, because your parents, they are supposed to give you particular lessons in life, like how to socialize and how to interact with people, like how to train yourself, and how to be a good, like how to be a person of value, and to be of value to the people around you. But especially that, of course, that when you interact with other people, that the people, they like you. But if you cannot get that out of your family because of because your family is broken, like you can fix that yourself, because there's more people than ever, like today, on the internet, giving you the advice that you need to level up. So there's never an excuse to say like, okay, my family screwed up, so I shouldn't, yeah, like I shouldn't try to fix it. Of course, what I always emphasize is, like you fix the world by first fixing yourself, like,
Yes.
because the moment you start to interact differently with your family, even if your family is broken, uh like your family will change because you fix yourself first. But that is a
Yes.
say that is crucial to understand, and that, of course, if you never if you've never done it, you don't know it, but you will start to notice it the moment you start to the moment you start to apply change in your, like, take the change necessary in your life. But that's where it starts. You fix the world by fixing yourself first. It's very easy to point at somebody else, like, oh yeah, like they such and such person is, like, screwed up. Like, look at yourself first. What could I have done better? What can I do better? Again, like your parents, they didn't live in the age of the internet, like you do, so you can get all the advice that you need to fix yourself first, and then fix the world around you.
Yeah, that when you mentioned that, like, we're going a little bit deeper and in the topic, the situation is that we made, like, we made so much mistakes. Everybody has done so much mistakes. We lost like so much chances, like, to do shit that we really wanted to do. Um, while you grow up, like, it's the same situation. Like, this shit will start to accumulate into our chest and so on. But you know, if you really want to improve, you need to work in yourself. And as I told you, well, it's painful as fuck. And one of the most painful things that you are going to do is to learn to forgive yourself after before you you forgive like your parents or your bad friends or whoever is coming to your fucking mind. The first person that you need to learn to forgive is yourself. And after you learn to forgive yourself, then you will learn to forgive like the other people in an honest way. And again, it's going to be painful. Like you will go through this process and like you will be in your bed like laying down and crying like, oh my gosh, like this is so fucking painful. Why am I doing this to myself and so on? But again, it's something that you need to do in order to really really improve, uh, to grow up in an honest way, to have a solid foundation for you to build the social financial success. Is it just go like this? And the other, I wanted to say something else, but I just forgot it. Well, it's okay. Like, let's move forward
Yeah.
because I forgot this one.
Yeah. I wanted to say this. Like, we had a conversation about this. Like, if when it comes to forgiving yourself, this story is ideal. I mean, um, yeah, like I mentioned like many times on this podcast that I was a freelance copywriter at the beginning of this year.
Yeah,
So when it comes to forgiving yourself, like I had some prospects in the pipeline back in the day that like especially that was around March, April. That's like those months. I had some prospects in the pipeline that could have made me a lot of money potentially. And ultimately I screwed up because of particular mistakes that I made when I was dealing with those prospects. And yeah, like we can go deeper into the story like later on, but this type of stuff, those things you will learn from it. Of course, you will tell yourself like, okay, like I learned my lesson, but I forgive myself for making this mistake. And this is just something silly when it comes to when it comes to business, and when it comes to especially like you mentioned, like taking the chances that you're getting, because it's not like a chance like that to get a high paying client comes to you every day. Like when you have it, you of course that you want to take it, because you're prospecting all day, and you're fighting to get the next money making opportunity. So the moment you screw up, you're just like, oh my fucking god, like, oh, I screwed up, oh my god, like all of this work, like you wasted hours, and then down the line you make such a mistake. Of course that is very painful, but yeah, you need to forgive yourself and tell them like, yeah, I learned a really really valuable lesson, like, and the next time something comes along like this, like I'll nail it.
yeah, yeah. Now that you mention it, like what I wanted to say just came back to my mind because this is related to that. We have a problem, uh, as we mentioned. If we fuck it up, well, we need to accept the blame and then like move forward. But sometimes you will face like problems that you did not create it. And my advice to solve those problems is that, okay, we have a problem, and I did not create the problem. So um, this problem, am I going to solve it by bringing a third person in here, and he's going to solve it because he's the one who created the problem? Okay, I will go and I will bring the motherfucker in here. But if that person create a problem, and the problem is not going to be fixed by bringing the motherfucker, like, do not waste your fucking time. Like, fix the shit, even if it's something that you did not create. At the end of the day, like, we will make all these mistakes, but it's not time that you waste. It's time that you were investing, and at some point, it's giving you like some experience, not the experience that you were expecting about success and money, but the other one, like, it's going to give you like experience about like to fail and how to reanalyze your situation and to keep going, because like to reach a goal is quite easy, but to stay at that level, that's something totally different. So I will say that, yeah, that's a short tip that I can give to all the people of the audience. You know, like, do not waste your time. Like, okay, like there's a problem. Yeah, okay, like who did it? This motherfucker. Okay, like bring the motherfucker, and he's going to solve it. If he's not going to solve it, okay, like, you know, like fuck it, forget about the motherfucker and let's do the shit like ourselves.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, like forget yeah, like yeah, just forget about it. There's always a sunk cost fallacy.
Yes,
Yeah.
and as you mentioned, is the same situation. You know, like you were analyzing what was your fails. Now you know what were the fails into the deals, and you will not make those same mistakes. But the situation is that you are improving yourself, and you are not going just like totally stupid positive, like, oh yeah, like there's always a sunny side to all the things that happens, even if it's bad or it's terrible, but it's okay, like I will find it. No, 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 no. You put your ass to work, you analyze what was the shit going, and then you did it.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so yeah, like let's like I had two more questions that we had to go over, but like actually I think those two questions, they're really good ones for the next episode. You know,
Okay.
but yeah, like we touched on a lot and we dropped again like a lot of value, but yeah, unfortunately we need to wrap up for this episode. So
Yes.
do you have anything to add on what we discussed today?
Well, again, people, growing up is stressful. It's going to give you anxiety, and it's painful as fuck.